Blog Talk Radio.
Warning. What you are about to hear are the views of Travis Pope and the Oklahoma Tomcat and is not supported by the government. Agreeing with the hosts of this show could cause you to be targeted by the government and government agencies. You have been warned.
Oklahoma, the second greatest state in the union. Oh, and by the way, Oklahoma Tomcat, he is currently unloading his load in the greatest state in the union, Texas. Woohoo! You ever notice that? You ever notice that when people ask if you go overseas, if you go overseas or to a different country, people ask, where are you from? Oh, I'm from the United States. Oh, I'm from the United States. But if a Texan goes overseas and someone goes, well, where are you from? I'm from Texas. They don't say I'm from the United States. They say I'm from Texas. Texas pride, baby. Texas pride. We're the greatest state. Someone from Oklahoma goes overseas. Where are you from? The United States. You know why they don't say Texas? You know why they don't say Oklahoma? You know why they don't say Oklahoma? Because nobody knows about Oklahoma. Nobody knows about Oklahoma. So, but everybody, you go overseas. If someone goes, where are you from? I'm from Texas. They're like, oh, really? Texas? Because Texas is a celebrity overseas. We're known far and wide. More westerns are made about Texas than any other state.
I've seen a few for Oklahoma.
Oh, there's a few. Get that right. A few. But even in those ones that are about Oklahoma, they always say Texas in it somewhere.
Oklahoma has a song.
Huh?
Oklahoma has a song.
Yeah, and I imagine it says Texas somewhere in that song. Texas makes its way into everything. I mean, just go down the road. I bet you have a Texas Roadhouse up there in New York, don't you?
Yep.
See? Told you. Texas makes its way into everything. That's because we are the greatest state in the union.
No, New York is.
Yeah, y'all are so great, y'all can't even get rid of Cuomo. Oh, that was a low blow, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
So, I mean, we don't even consider the New York steak down here in Texas. New York steak, what is that?
We're known for our pizza.
I'd rather go for a Chicago pizza. Oh,
really?
Another low blow.
That is
Another
a low blow because New York has pretty good pizza.
I would rather eat a Chicago pizza just because you have because your pizza says New York on it.
That's so messed up.
So.
What's wrong with
anyway,
New York?
Do you want me to go down the list? Because we will be here until next year this time.
All right, never mind.
Well, I will say that California's probably more screwed up than New York. There, I said something good.
Oh, yay!
I'll give you something. There you go. New York is California is probably more screwed up than New York.
I gotta tell you something. So we found our furnace broke down. Okay, so we were looking for the paperwork on it, right? And we found it because the guy that owns this house that we're buying is is a hoarder, right? So we found this book, and the book on the cover says warning. And it's about California, how the furnace could cause cancer. So if you get it installed in California, you have to check with all their rules and regulations on the furnace.
Yeah. If you did not know this already, grass causes cancer in California. Trees cause cancer in California. Air causes cancer in California. Everything in California causes cancer. Okay? Everything. Period.
Oh my God.
You will know that. Everything. I mean, go to your local store that you go to, Walmart, JCPenney, whatever. I mean, if you read the warning on the shoe, it'll probably say this is known to cause cancer in California. That's because everybody in California already has cancer. They are a cancer.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, everything. There's a warning sign on everything that you buy now. This product may cause cancer in California. Water will cause cancer in California. I mean, I'm gonna do that next time I'm in California, and I when I go to buy something like water or something, I'm gonna go up to them and say, "Hey, will this cause cancer in California?" You get the looks, and they go, well, "I'm gonna get the looks," and they go, "Well, why do you say that?" I said, "Well, I'm from Texas, and everything we buy in Texas always has a warning sign. This is known to cause cancer in California. So I'm just wanting to know, will this water cause cancer?" So, but, speaking of cancer, did you hear about the new thing the FDA is about to issue a ban on?
Oh, well, no, I haven't heard it. I'm afraid to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Did you used to smoke?
Yep. Yeah, I smoked Camel.
What? Camel what?
Regular. They were filtered Camels.
Okay. So you didn't smoke menthols, right?
I did at one time. I did. They were Newport.
Newport? Oh.
Yep.
Oh, you're a Newport smoker. But anyways, the FDA is considering banning menthol cigarettes.
They should.
Oh, the status just come right out on you, didn't it?
should.
Well, I don't smoke anymore, but I would, I don't care what another person does with their life. So if they want to smoke menthols, they can smoke menthols. If they want to smoke regular, they can smoke regular. If they want to go out to that field that I'm driving by right there where that cow just took a big old dump and just rolled them up a piece of weed right there and smoke it, I don't care. That's their life. But now that I'm on it and the Oklahoma Tomcat has not showed up, I will throw out his argument. With he made a good point that he doesn't think that the federal government will actually legalize marijuana. You know why?
Why?
Because they're cracking down on flavored vapes. They're issuing bans on flavored vapes, and they're wanting to issue bans on menthol cigarettes. And if they're being so tough on this stuff, what makes us think that they're going to unregulate and legalize marijuana at the federal level? Oh, I know we just let you down. We just let you down. We know you wanted to get a hold of that Mary Jane.
I really don't care if they legalize it or not, marijuana. Really, honestly, I really don't care. Because no matter what they do, that's not going to stop anybody from what they've done for years. You know what I mean? It don't bother me.
Only thing it will do is keep them from loading up the prisons with people for something that's natural.
Yeah, and they want to load up the prisons for something stupid. They want to do that. It's like my managers at work. They want you to screw up so they have excuses to complain and get irritated, and it's just what they do.
Yeah.
They'll never change. It'll always be the same. Leave the marijuana the way it is because it's more fun that way.
You just like listening to people complain, huh? Wow. We need Oklahoma Tomcat on here because I think his sister. I think we have an invasion of the body snatcher thing going on here.
I had a rough night at work, so I'm like, who cares about any of this?
Let it go, let it go. Well, that's all right. I had a rough night too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, my truck's acting up again, so I'm almost to Oklahoma City, and I got to go drop my trailer at the yard, bob a tail over to the shop, and let them run diagnostics on it and find out what's going on with my transmission.
Oh, man.
Hopefully it's a simple fix. If not, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, my boyfriend's Hummer, the transmission went along with our heater.
His Hummer?
Yeah.
Your boyfriend's got a Hummer? And here I am, can barely afford an old 2003 Tahoe.
It was $7,000. That was cheap, especially up here. Everything up here is expensive.
Yeah.
So that was cheaper than normal. So he grabbed it, and then it did this.
Well, now you know why it's cheap.
Yep.
Because now you got to replace the transmission in it, and you don't realize, oh, this thing ain't so cheap.
Yep. Yeah.
Yup. Oh man, and a traffic jam has occurred.
Oh no.
But well, since the cigarette thing didn't bother you, and you're like, oh well, they need to ban it, you know.
Why are they banning it? Why did it say why they were banning it? Did it say?
No, I didn't get past that point because I really don't care for them banning anything because I don't believe in banning anything. But you know what the sad thing is though is I say it's racist for them to be banning it.
Why?
Because it's a known fact that every black person I ever met always smoked Newports.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yep.
They like menthol.
Yep. So you want to cause a race war? Go ahead and ban them, FDA.
Yeah. I just don't understand why. I mean, they're bad. They are worse than the regular cigarette, and they are. They're terrible.
Yeah.
They got all kinds of stuff in it, like fiberglass.
Well, that's all cigarettes.
I mean, they're worse though. I don't know why they're worse, but they're worse. I was always told they were worse.
But here's something I'm gonna hit you with then. Here's your something. You ready for this? I know you don't get mad about this. I know you don't get mad about this.
What is it?
They're actually talking about a new sin tax. You hear that? A new sin tax. A global sin tax. A global sin tax. Want me to tell you what this sin is?
Yeah.
Eating meat.
What?
Purchasing meat. Yep. They're actually talking about on the UN, the United Nations, and stuff like that, as a global global tax on meat. All meat. Bacon, hamburger, beef, chicken, fish. A sin tax.
Wow.
Yep. And they're saying that this sin tax will possibly save around 200,000 or 300,000 people. On a global scale.
Okay. Oh, I don't understand how. What do you mean save people? Eating meat is bad?
Yeah, according to the globalists and stuff, eating meat is bad.
Well, then what the hell are we supposed to eat? Dirt?
Well, see, there's a field out there that has a cow in it, and I think we're just supposed to go out there because they do talk about us being herds and herd immunity. So they already consider us cattle. So I think what we're supposed to do is just go graze with the cattle.
Jeez.
Yeah. So they're talking about a global tax on all meat products because meat's bad for you. And it will save about two to 300,000 people globally. Why? Because they can't afford the meat tax, so they can't buy meat, so they'll buy vegetables instead.
Oh, great. Well,
So
no one's going to stop eating meat because they raise the prices.
No, but they won't eat as much because now they can't buy as much. That means you'll have to cut down on one of your gas station burritos a week because you have to buy. See, they saved you. But see, by raising the tax on the meat on the deal, your money that you normally set aside for your gas station burrito will be short one burrito, so you won't be able to buy your full burrito on the end of the week. You can only buy half a burrito. See, they already cut your consumption down.
Well, you know what? I think I'm going to move to a different country.
No, well, this is a global tax, so it's going to go globally. It's not just on America tax; it's globally. So no matter what country you go to, no matter what country you go to, that tax on that meat's still there.
Oh.
There's no escaping
terrible.
it. And how do you know if you went to another country, you'll find you a gas station that has good gas station burritos that you like to eat?
Oh, I'm pretty sure everyone copies the U.S.
I wouldn't say that. You go off over there, you might not find a burrito. Where you don't go? You don't go to Mexico? Now, you'll find all kinds of burritos down there.
And everybody sells hot dogs. We got Oklahoma Tomcat with us.
All right. The Oklahoma Tomcat returns.
Yay!
Oh. Well, welcome. Your sister has been quite the status this morning.
Uh-oh.
We
can't have that.
On the show. You gotta have one on the show.
I told her about the FDA ban on menthol cigarettes, and she said, "Well, they should."
Oh man.
So I
They're
came
bad
back and
anyway.
So I came back and I said, "Oh, so you want to ban something?" I said, "Well, the UN is talking about a global sin tax on meat." And she's like, "Oh no, no, no."
Well, I mean, look at all the damage that meat does. I mean, that should be banned too, right? I mean, worldwide, in fact. I mean, all those cow farts, just causing global warming. And then the meat is real bad for you, apparently. I mean, people are getting fat, and then you also have, all the problems with the fact that, the cows are being so brutally killed, in slaughterhouses and stuff like that. And then you got the mass raising of cattle, which destroys erodes the earth and stuff like that, with all the grass being taken up and stuff like that. So why not, Miss Producer?
well, if they want to ban something, they should ban flour that is bleached and all the stuff that makes people fat. How about banning soda altogether? Because that's what really makes you fat. How about?
Are you saying I'm fat?
I knew that.
And
once
actually,
I opened my mouth, it would have been wrong.
And actually, it's not soda that makes you fat. It's the high fructose corn syrup. But see, here's where the problem is with government deciding what is good for us and what's bad for us. Because guess who is the ones that got high fructose corn syrup so popular in the first place? Government.
Who? Oh.
Government.
Yeah. Well, ban that. Why don't they ban that?
Because the fact government's in bed with the corn growers.
Well, I don't know if I'm more disturbed about the government promoting high fructose corn syrup or the fact that Edith has been on our show for nearly a year and did not know that answer.
I knew the answer. I'm just
okay.
Well, I broke it down to her. I said, "Look," she goes, "Well, they can't stop people eating meat." And I said, "Yeah, well, no, they can't. People will still eat it." But I said, "You know that gas station burrito you buy?" She goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, by raising the taxes on it, that money that you set aside to buy your gas station burrito each week." You'll have to on the last burrito you'll have to cut it in half because you won't have enough money at the end of the week to buy that last one because they've raised the prices on it. See, so they effectively cut her meat intake in half on one burrito.
Yeah. Yep, or
and then
she would have to give up other things.
Beans anyway. The burrito.
Yeah,
we knew there was something stinky coming from up there. Beans, good for your heart. The more you eat, the more you fart. The more you fart.
But here's the overall picture on all that, on this whole thing. They're talking about, the federal government should legalize marijuana, right? And there's talk that the House will do it, and the Senate will, and whatever, and the president will sign it. Let me ask you guys something. They're going. They're planning on banning menthol cigarettes. They are talking about heavy regulation and even banning some of vaping. Two things that just harms the one individual, is not all that, so what type thing. What makes everyone think that the FDA will actually legalize marijuana? I mean, does any of this make sense? I mean, come on. No, marijuana is not going to be legal federally. Sorry, I don't believe I don't have that kind of faith.
I already made that argument for you because I didn't know when you was coming back, so I already told everybody that's what you would say.
I do not.
Okay.
I don't want them to regulate marijuana. I don't want them to because it takes all the fun out of it, all the everything. They take it all away. People just ruin everything. I'm telling you. I'm going to become one of those people that worship the cow.
I think your sister is actually wanting to smoke some marijuana because of the way she's been acting this morning.
But why should they legalize marijuana? Come on. I mean, they're going to ban menthol cigarettes. I mean, come on. So what? Everyone's still going to smoke menthol cigarettes even if it's banned.
Exactly.
So,
And with
let's
that, we
make
gotta
money
go to
on it by
break.
throwing. Let's just throw everybody in jail. Hey, don't play that commercial though.
Oh, don't.
No.
Why?
Because it's not updated. Let me instead
Oh,
tell you
yeah.
guys. So you remember to make the sales pitch for my whole thing on marijuana, but you forgot to tell this producer not to play that first commercial, huh?
Where do I play?
Nothing. I'm gonna say just tell you guys, while we're on cigarettes and marijuana and all this unhealthy stuff, beef, burritos and stuff like that. Let me encourage everyone to go to livepure.com/PTAT and check out all their products. So while you're smoking that menthol cigarettes and the marijuana and getting drunk every day and eating burritos from gas stations, like Miss Producer does. But how about also, taking in some healthy supplements from Live Pure, and at least counteract some of that stuff, or eating like tons of cigarettes like my daughter does. Not cigarettes, sugar. Sorry, sugar. She don't.
Wow.
People, she does not eat cigarettes. Okay. She does not eat cigarettes. She eats tons of sugar. But at least counteract it. I know she's sitting here looking at me real bad.
Just throw her under the bus.
Well, you need to throw her under the bus. Now when I get home, I'm probably going to see the government at my house. Checking for cigarettes all over the place for her to eat. So go to livepure.com/PTAT. That's Papa Tango Alpha Tango. Check out all their products. They got greens. They got the supplements. Daily supplements that you could take, and so that you can live a lot healthier. It's especially important for us truck drivers who are out on the road a lot, and it is a lot harder for us to get a lot of the home-cooked foods, which has a lot more vitamins than the store-bought and stuff like that. That's live/PTAT. And I also want to.
While you're going down the road, going to the internet to check out Live Pure PTAT/PTAT. Go ahead and go over to Truckers-Defense and check out their website and buy you one of them tasers, so that way you can protect yourself while you're smoking your pot and eating
burritos.
High cost beef. Well, high cost meats now because you're being taxed for that, and so that way you're already the money you don't be saving on not buying any more meat. You can go ahead and go buy you one of them nice tasers that you need to defend yourself on the meat that you do buy to keep other people from trying to take your meat.
And actually, you got a point there, Travis, because what Miss Producer is going to have to do now, when they decide to tax meat all to pieces, is she's going to have to go to the corner of the street corner and buy the underground beef, that's sold illegally.
Beef?
Yeah, the black market beef, So she's going to need that taser,
awesome.
to be able to tase, anyone that might come and steal her meat,
I'll be tracking them cows.
Or she's going to be out in the field tasing cows so she can butcher them, out there in the field.
I'll be the one giving out the underground meat.
She'll be out there on that corner trying to buy that black market burrito from the gas station.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine that when on her last day, when she doesn't have the full amount to buy the burrito, she'll eat the other half that's still sitting on her dash.
Yeah. That's Travis, we figured her out. The reason she's saving all those burritos on her dash is to stock up for when they do tax it.
Yeah.
That's what she's doing.
She's probably got each burrito on her dash date stamp, so therefore she goes, when was this one? Oh, it's still good. It don't matter that it's green.
Hey, that's extra vitamins. That's extra vitamins,
yeah,
the green that grows on them, and, that's our vegetables.
She's getting her penicillin.
Hey, if you're allowed to eat cheese with green on it, then you can do it with anything. Don't listen to me, people.
She's taking the green burrito craze in New Mexico to a whole new level.
Yeah.
She's been going to Carl's Jr. eating at the green burrito way too much. I'm done today. Bye. I'm done with the internet and everything else today. That was all I needed to hear right there.
Oh boy! Like really, Miss Producer, you said they should ban menthol cigarettes.
You know what? I gotta just say something, okay? Cigarettes are really bad for your health, and I think people should start considering that. Somebody's got to look out for them. If no one looks out for them, who's going to look out for them? If they don't look out for themselves, right?
Oh, wow. Wow.
Well, I need the blow-up button right here.
Wait a minute. Did that not sound good?
No, it didn't. Yeah. The government's looking out for you there, Miss Producer. The government just loves you so much it's looking out for you. That's why it promoted the sale of high fructose corn syrup, because it's looking out for you.
Because we the people believe in someone looking out for us. All right. I'm tired this morning. Everyone's got to excuse me today. I'm really tired.
Well, this is bad timing because there is another announcement I have to make, and now we are also on iHeartRadio. And now it's being put out to even more people. Miss Producer, we're turning into status radio here. Thank you, Miss Producer. Yeah, we are on iHeartRadio. So welcome to everybody who's listening to us on iHeartRadio. So how does that make you feel, Miss Producer? Now more people know you.
Pretty good.
Wow. I knew the status would come out of her one day.
Here we thought we converted her.
She was only undercover. How does it feel, Oklahoma? How does it feel, Oklahoma Tomcat, to know your sister?
Oh, now you're putting her off on me, huh?
Is working for the enemy. She's working for the enemy.
I slide my way right into the radio station so people could hear my lecture.
She needs to come on the show tired more often.
She snuck right in there.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I'm the one that brought her on, isn't it? I guess that actually ends up my fault. Huh?
I really think you need to make a trip up there and make sure there ain't no pods in her bathtub.
She sounds like Edith. She looks like Edith. but she's really a pod person from the planet Mars.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah.
She was. Now that she did mention New York, she was defending New York this morning.
Oh.
I forgot what I said. That's past. That's past news. Travis.
I bet she secretly voted for. I bet she secretly voted for the king up there too, didn't she?
Yeah,
Wait, I got to throw up.
She told me that New York was great, and it was very great. And I said, yeah, it's so great you can't even get rid of Cuomo up there. And she goes, well, and then she told me, she goes, I said, ooh, that was a low blow. And she goes, well, tell me what's all wrong with New York. I said, do you want to go there? I said, we'll be sitting here until next year if I went to that list. And I told her, I said, because we're just trying to catch the Oklahoma Tomcat on the first half because he was absent. You know, he's always absent-minded anyways, but that's for another story. I said, okay. I will say one thing good about New York. And she goes, what's that? And I said, it's not as bad as California.
Yeah, California is pretty bad.
Yeah, and then she read off one of her paperwork through her furnace where it said that this product is known to cause cancer in California. And I told her, I said, well, let me let you a little secret on. Yeah, I said, let me let you know a little secret about that. Everything causes cancer in California. The
yes,
air,
it does.
The grass,
everything has.
The dirt, the water. And I said, you go to Walmart. I told her to go to Walmart and pick up any product in Walmart and read the warning label on it. And it says, this product contains a substance that is known to cause cancer in California. So, and I said, it don't really cause cancer in California because California is a cancer, so everything is a cancer to them.
Which you know the story behind that, don't you? That warning label, why it's on everything. It's because there's a threat that if you have a product that is known to cause cancer or even thought of to cause cancer, according to California, then you could be held liable. Well, so what every company has done is put that warning label on everything. That's why it's on everything. Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
It's a way for the companies to protect themselves. That's cool. Man, you are a statist, aren't you?
No, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool that they had thought of a way to work around that. You know what I mean? Because everything does they worked around it. If you buy it, it's on you.
Yeah.
And
so
you
now you got people who's worried about now you got people who's worried about cancer and everything, and now they don't buy nothing in California.
Well,
hey, let's move to Nevada. It won't cause cancer here.
Yeah, even your water bottle causes cancer in California. Everything causes cancer in California.
Yeah, see, that's why it's good that you live in New York there, Edith, is because even it causes that well no because see that label you just read that causes cancer in California, it doesn't cause cancer in New York, you know, it just causes cancer in California, so just don't move to California. Hey, speaking of New York, did you hear that Cortez can't move to Washington D.C. yet? She's voted as a representative. And she made the statement that she can't afford to move to Washington, D.C. to start her job until she gets paid.
Yeah, well, they already created a GoFundMe account.
Anything,
oh yeah, no,
that's funny.
they Yeah, they created a GoFundMe. So, see, New Yorkers voted for this girl to be represented. Now, what is one of the jobs of the representatives, the House of Representatives? Finances, right? I mean, they're the ones that start all the budget, right? Any budget deal has to start with them. So they're like the masterminds of, the budget and everything and taxes and all this stuff. But she cannot afford to move to Washington, D.C. herself because she is irresponsible of her own funds. So you guys don't even elect people that can manage their own household.
Well, I have one suggestion. I have one suggestion for her.
Mhm.
J.G. Wentworth. There.
There you go. It's your money. Get it now.
That was a good one.
J.G. Wentworth. That's bad. That's bad. She's already starting Congress in a deficit.
Oh, I know, right?
Oh my gosh.
But don't worry, New York. She will do a good job at making sure you get your money, from taxpayers.
I'm sure.
I heard she can't. I heard she's already booked her a flight to I forgot the name of that town up there. Man, I hate when I have it's been a long night, I tell you that. Oh, there it is. I heard she's already booked her a flight to Seattle because she can't wait to work in D.C.
So she's gonna move to Washington, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe that's actually what happened because New York is pretty expensive in the first place, and now she says she can't live in Washington D.C. Maybe she's really confusing it and thinks that she has to fly to Washington and she can't afford that.
Yeah,
she's going to wrong Washington.
Yeah, I heard she's already booked her a flight to Seattle because she can't wait to work in Washington. We're
not too far off because she is. Have you ever heard her solutions for things and things she said? I mean, she.
Well,
I would say it's shocking she got elected, but then I got to remember this is New York.
Well, I was thinking of a little bit more scandalous side of this right here because when I thought about she's done booked her a flight to Seattle because she can't wait to go to work in Washington, I was sitting there thinking, well, that can't be too far off because we know Guam is about to flip over and drown everybody. And Arizona isn't a border state. And, so I thought that she can't be too far off because look at what we've already listened to. I mean, Obama's been to 57 states. I mean.
Yeah. All right, we're totally sorry, New York. Actually, you did hire a qualified representative. I'm sorry, I messed up there. I forgot all about that stuff.
New York's the best.
Oh.
So, I started thinking about all them, and I said, well.
She's qualified. Yep, she's totally qualified. That reminds me, Obama said that he's been to 57 states. The other day, my daughter, talked about the flag. We were talking about the flag, and she goes, 1 star per state on the flag. There's 50 stars. I was like, wow, you know more than our government.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what, and that's a good thing too, right there. We got 50 stars on it. I mean, why would we want to add 7 more? And I understand what they're talking about, that the 50 states plus the 7 territories that wanna join us, and I'm like, why do we want to add them and add more stars to our flag? Odd number.
But still, they're not states yet. You know? Yeah. I mean, they're not states. They're territories. People, there's 50 states.
Yeah, there's still 50 states.
Yeah. And there may be 49 because, there are people in Hawaii who wants to separate.
Well, I say, everybody focuses on.
Then that's where I'm going.
They focus on Obama. They focus on Obama saying 57 states, but he really said 58.
He said 58.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, listen to what he said. He goes, "I've already visited 57 states, and I have one more left to go."
Oh yeah. Because so he really said 58. Yeah.
And they bother everyone else for education.
And everybody else always says, "Well, Obama's been to 57 states," and I'm like, "Well, he actually said 58."
Yep, that's true.
I caught that on day one. I was like, wow, there's 58 states, and everybody's like, no, he said 57. I said, no, he said 58. Listen to him. He said he's been to 57 states. And I said, and he said also he has one left to go. So that's 58. Ah! Damn Common Core math. Y'all can't even count.
But we keep on electing these people, I mean.
Yeah, well, we've been reminded by our status on the show is that the reason why we keep electing them is because we want them to take care of us. I mean, she wants these type of people to take. She wants these type of people to take care of us. I mean, one that can't even afford to move to Washington D.C. from New York. I mean, all she has to do is look at Cuomo, but she wants him to take care of her. That's why they can only. Now they have to buy.
Wait a minute. I did not vote for Cuomo. In fact, I don't know anyone around here that voted for Cuomo. Nope. No way. Not Cuomo.
Yeah. How many 24-ounce drinks do you have to buy now to get a 48-ounce drink? Huh?
Hey, wait a minute. No. At the gas station down the road, it's called Speedway. Yeah, they have 50-ounce cups. Mm-hmm.
Speedway, I'm calling Cuomo and reporting them.
Actually, you won't have to because by the time the show's over with, Edith will go down there and they're going to be shut down.
Yeah. There goes her burritos. They sell burritos there.
She's going to show up there. She's going to show up there, and the owner's going to be standing out there very, very mad at her. They shut me down because of you.
Jay says, "You want a tall drink?" And I go, "Oh, wow, they have tall drinks in here?" So we went in there. He goes, "Yeah, I get them all the time." So I went in there with him. Yep, those cups are huge. Huge.
Oh.
Yeah, so listen to that, Cuomo. They sell 50-ounce drinks and week-old burritos.
And they have really good hot dogs on rotisserie.
You know what we ought to do? we ought to.
If you want
hey,
to
is
know
this free advertisement you're giving away there, Miss Producer? Is this free advertisement you're doing there, Miss Producer?
Hey, we ought to do a prank. We ought to do a prank call to them one day and ask them about their illegal, their bootleg 50-ounce drinks.
Hey, do you sell large sodas? Okay. I'll tell you what. I'm going to be coming in there with the black shirt, black pants, and a black hat. Okay? I want a large soda. Don't worry, I won't tell no one. I won't tell anyone. I will have cash, okay? How much is it? $50,000 for one cup? Okay, yeah, I'll have it, okay, in a suitcase.
and can I get one of them week old burritos there and a rotisserie
tax-free.
hot dog?
And tax-free, okay, under the table. I don't want to pay the tax. I'll pay you instead, okay?
And don't worry, we do not work for Cuomo. We don't work for Cuomo, so we will not report you.
And do you have those cigarettes that's in the green box, the menthols? Do you have any under the counter? Yeah, I'll take a dozen of them, okay?
And we want some of them. We want some of them banned California straws. Do you got them too?
Oh, and I want the flavored vape juice. Give me some of that too, okay?
Oh man, we could have so much fun with that.
Oh, and there's somebody doing a countdown on us. She's counting us down, so that we quit. It's like, come on, next topic here. Next topic. We
She's going. I got to run down. I got to run down there and make sure they don't get closed down now.
Yeah. During break, she's gonna make a phone call down there. Hey. You get rid of all the menthol cigarettes, all the large soda cups, and all that. Okay, get rid of them real quick. Cuomo might be showing up. And by the way, I will make sure you're protected with a taser from truckers-defense.com. I'll make sure I have my taser with me.
We're having too much fun.
Oh, that's right. They're illegal in New York too. They're illegal in New York too. Yeah. So hey, I will have it hidden. Okay. I'll be armed with a taser, and I will have it hidden. Okay. But you'll be protected.
I got to tell you guys something real quick, really funny.
Okay.
So we at the job, us housekeepers at the job, we all got told we can't use gloves in the hallway while pushing our garbage cart full of garbage, right, which is very nasty, very unsanitary, which they're all about being sanitary, right? So at lunchtime I go, hey, guess what? I got to tell you something. And I look behind me and I look around me and I go, so my friend goes, what? And I go, I wore gloves in the hallway.
You rebel, you.
I know. Isn't that crazy? That just reminded me of that. That's why I said that.
So she's for making menthol cigarettes illegal, but she wears gloves in the hallway. So where's this gas station again, real quick?
The Liberty National Network.
Let's go inside the mind of a 10-year-old.
I should have worn those earrings today. I like those earrings. Gabby has those awesome earrings. I need to ask her where she got those, but that's just what she would want me to do. I'll have Michaela ask her for me.
Buckle up, Sarah.
Yeah, but then Michaela will be like, why don't you just ask her yourself? That's just like Michaela.
Sarah, buckle up.
Michaela's such a great name. I wish I was called Michaela. There's like a dozen Sarahs in my class.
Hey, we're not hitting the road until you buckle up, honey.
Oh yeah, seatbelt. I forget sometimes because my brain is like busy, you know? I wonder if there's pizza at school today.
Sometimes it can be tough to get through to your kids, but it's not impossible. Always make sure they're wearing their seatbelts, even on short drives. Remember, you have the keys, you have the power. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
Horses are non-threatening. They're a majestic, magnificent creature. We see guys that and gals find a great sense of inner peace and calmness as they start listening to the breathing of the horse, and they start grooming the horse, and they start being around the horse as much. Something magical starts happening with that connection that's hard to actually put into words, but it's palpable. You can feel it. You can feel that connection.
My name is Sterling Buckles, and I was a Lance Corporal with 2nd Battalion, 1st Marines, and I was injured in Operation Iraqi Freedom. I was actually hit in the head by a sniper bullet that penetrated through my helmet and collapsed the right side of my skull, and it was just a blessing that I survived it and got medevaced right away to Baghdad, where there was an Army brain surgeon gave me brain surgery to take all the fragments of the skull out of my brain and then put in 2 titanium plates. Coming back, I was diagnosed pretty much right away with 100% PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. And so, to say the least, life has been really difficult. Horses for Heroes program has been a real blessing to my life, to where now I feel like I have more of a purpose. That's a big thing coming back, is you were so important while you were serving in the military that you come back and you don't feel like you really have a purpose anymore in life, or that you're really behind the other 20-something-year-old people that, you know, had done other choices with their lives. If I come down here and I feel really anxious and just filled with anxiety and nervous, and, you know, I spend a little bit of time with the horse, it seems like the horse calms me down and my anxiety level just starts to really drop. So you're not really caring about yourself the whole time, but you're caring about something else. Really kind of gives me you know, a good sense of accomplishment, and at the end of the day you're tired, but it's a good tired.
Hi, I'm Corinne, a student at Hillsdale College. Here is President of Hillsdale College, Dr. Larry Arnn, on the threat of bureaucratic despotism.
One of the chief sponsors of the Dodd-Frank Finance Reform Bill called that legislation, quote, about as important as it gets, because it deals with every single aspect of our lives, end quote. And how does this legislation deal with every aspect of our lives? In the most unconstitutional way. It sets up a board called the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which has the power to regulate our economic transactions independently of both the President and Congress. In other words, permanent government employees are placed in charge of us beyond the control of those we elect, the control of we the people. This is a violation of the representative form of government, without which there can be no constitutional government.
This Constitution Minute was brought to you by Hillsdale College. To receive a free pocket constitution and declaration, go to constitutionminute.com.
The Liberty National Network.
Travis Pope may sound like a big bad gorilla, but he is really a big cuddly teddy bear. You are listening to Political TNT on the Liberty National Network. If you want to be part of the show, dial 914-338-1906 and then press 1.
All right, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back to all you illegal meat eaters, cigarette eaters, pot smokers, even some of you statists. Prefer more directly the New York statists, but welcome back.
Hey, and you want to hear something else that's funny? Our election system.
We're going into the election system. All right. Let me turn my snooze alarm on.
Well, I mean that is a joke, right? I mean, our election system. Listening to the news now, I mean, shoot, we're sounding real bad.
I wonder if any other country has this problem.
No, because they have the government controlling it all.
Well, now I'm starting to agree with Edie up there about government control.
I mean, what is this with taking a whole week? Over a week now. I mean, actually, yesterday was 1 week. Over a week for us to count all the ballots. And what's all these provisional ballots that's suddenly showing up? I mean, I'm like, wow, you know.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we got them in rental cars, and we got them in storage buildings in the school, and we got truckloads coming in and bus loads coming in, and not to mention the 300,000 that they have counted that may be illegal voters too. I mean that illegals that have voted in the Florida election. I wonder if they determine these 300,000 illegals that have voted, and they determined who it was. Would that cancel out will they cancel out their votes?
No, probably not. I mean, this whole system is really making. It definitely proves that. It definitely shows that we need to change our voting system. The way we're doing this. Number one, we're kind of outdated in the first place. With modern technology, why can't we do this a lot simpler? And also, I thought that after a certain time, any more ballots that come in is too bad, so sad. What's this with over a week later, we're still seeing ballots coming in? Sorry, they don't count. You know what my absentee ballot said right on it? For this to be counted, for this to be valid, it must be on our desk. I mean, not exact those words, but in our office by Election Day Tuesday. Not in the mail. Up in New York, I remember I don't know if it still says it, but when I was doing the absentee ballot in the Navy, it said on there it must be postmarked by Tuesday. No, Oklahoma said it must be in our office Tuesday. And that's the way it should be.
Man. Hey, we've been having problems with Florida for how long? Since Gore?
Yeah, well, now it's gotten even worse because now it's Florida, it's Georgia, it's Arizona.
Yeah, but Florida's the bad apple. I think we just need to deport Florida and just cut it off. Just cut it off at the stem down there and give it over to China and pay our debt off to China by giving it over to them and just be done with it. I mean, Florida's always given us problems.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Florida. How come California don't give us problems on voting?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It may cause
actually
cancer.
Shocking.
If they're late.
Florida is our redheaded stepchild that needs to be beat. There you go.
No, it's just California. They just have people who complain because they only have 2 senators, and other states have 2 senators. That was going around on social media. I almost about died. I saw on social media somebody actually posted a meme saying Wyoming population, it had the population on there, 2 senators. California and their population, which they do have a lot more people, only 2 senators. Maybe our slave-owning founding fathers didn't have it correct.
Oh, my Lord.
I'm like, okay, maybe you need history lesson and to learn our government. The senators were not designed to represent the people. There's 2 senators in every state for a reason. They represent the state, or they're supposed to anyway.
Oh, my Lord.
Yep, these are people who are voting. And get this. I forget which state it is. There's one state where they were like, oh, these ballots were marked wrong. What we need to do is look at them and try to decipher who the people really wanted to vote for because they filled it out wrong. Because they didn't mark the box correctly. And I'm like, all right, sorry. If you cannot read the instructions on your ballot, your vote should not be counted anyway. I know there's a bunch of people who are going to be like, oh, no, he said people should not vote. I'm sorry, if you're ignorant, no, don't vote. Please don't. Don't count your ballot.
I don't care how I mark that box. The box is marked.
I'm sorry. It's written out real clear how you're supposed to mark it. I think it was those ones where it had the arrow and you had to fill in the arrow of where you wanted who you wanted to vote for. I think it was that type of ballot. But still, so simple. Shading the arrow. Finish. It's a drawing. It's a drawing. People draw. A straight line. And then shade it in.
You really don't want me to. You really don't want me to vote in Texas because they have the bubble ballot.
Yeah.
Color in the bubble, and it reminds me of my SAT test where I just go down and bubble.
Oh no! You draw pictures, don't you?
Yeah, I do. God dang it!
You even know that where I caught it.
I don't know who I voted for. I just drew pictures.
Is it bad that I knew where you were headed on that one? I remember the SAT. I don't know this answer. What did I mark last time? Okay, it has to go down this way because that looks better.
Yeah, I did the zigzag.
Yeah.
My SATs were perfectly zigzagged.
Looked like a staircase.
Yeah.
Or a lightning bolt. That's what I always tried to draw, the lightning bolt, It go down diagonal this way, then diagonal this way, and diagonal this way, and then...
Now we're going to have some people going, I can't believe he did that on his ballot. He just zigzagged.
Yeah, but they actually said that. They said that we have to interpret who they wanted to vote for because they filled it out wrong.
Well, if they interpret it like they interpret the Constitution, we're in trouble.
Yeah. Oh, you know it's going to be interpreted the way the person who's interpreting wants to interpret it. That's how they always do it.
Well, you know, if it's the liberals interpreting their ballot like they interpret the Second Amendment, we're in trouble because apparently they don't understand. Thou shalt the right to bear arms shall not be infringed. They don't understand that. They're like, oh.
Yeah, well, what throws them off is English. They don't know what infringed means.
Yeah. Well, maybe they need to do the Constitution in Swahili or something.
No, Spanish. That's why they want, that's why they want the, the only illegals they want in is from Mexico. They're not worried about the European illegals. It's only the Mexicans. So everybody needs to speak Spanish.
Yeah, why is that? How come they're not complaining? How come they only talk about the South American and stuff like that, but they don't talk about the illegal Chinamen coming over? They fly over here and overstay their visas. Never mind.
Or the illegals that come in from England. I mean, because you got illegals coming in from there too. They don't care about them.
Yeah. That's a good question to ask. Why are Democrats only worried about the Hispanic illegals and they're not worried about the Irish illegals? See?
Of course, you would mention Irish. That's one you're concerned about, right?
Hey,
Travis Pope's only looking out for his own.
I can tell you why. It's because the Spanish people a lot more than the rest of them. They don't sneak around.
Are you saying they're like rabbits?
I'm just saying that there's a lot more of them, and they don't sneak. They just go in, Well,
they don't sneak anymore.
No, and all the other people, they just go, let's tippy-toe in here.
That's racist.
Yeah, they don't. And actually, they don't sneak anymore because they don't have to. They used to.
Yeah, you call that 14,000 caravan coming up here sneaking?
No, they don't need to sneak anymore. That's what I'm saying. They used to. I mean, it used to be, they did sneak in here, but they don't have to anymore because they are actually protected people now.
Yeah, and we welcome them.
And I'm seeing liberals saying more and more and more, the Democrats don't want open borders. What do you think is going on right now? This caravan's coming up, and the liberals are saying, the Democrats are saying, we must let them in. Oh, man.
Yeah, you hear... Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to try to get us back on our track because we got way off.
Yeah. We were way off.
We're like hound dogs. We find a rabbit trail and we chase that one, and then we get carted off. Us three, we really need to be put on Ritalin or Adderall because our ADD kicks in and we just chase whatever butterfly rabbit trail there is. Focus, people, focus.
Can't you stay focused? Or as my daughter will say, why can't you focus?
But next time she tells you that, say, but that butterfly was so pretty.
Shiny object. Yeah, we do need to get back on the election thing because that is what we put down that we were going to talk about today. And, we probably got a bunch of listeners who's like, I just wanted to hear about the election. First of all, since my phone got totally messed up when the day after election, I was going to talk about the results and how I feel about these results because Trump immediately went on. It was a great, the election was a success for the Republicans, which no, it wasn't. And then Democrats, the same thing. They were like victory, with their thing. But actually, for both sides, the election was bad news. And anyone who listened to when Costato and I were talking about it when he was on the show will understand why. It's because of the fact that a split house is bad news for statists, good news for those who want freedom. And that's exactly what's happening here is the House got split.
No,
I mean, not the House. Congress got split. I'm sorry. Congress got split. So now it didn't. Which side won the Senate and which side won the House?
Statist.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about the two religions. Now, it's split that way. Yeah, you're right. The libertarians didn't win any of it. But as far as the two religious statists, that they got split. So a lot of people are talking about this is going to be dead, a dead session, which is bad news for statists because statists always want. Hey, Travis, how many times have you heard them say, "Oh, Congress ain't doing nothing. They're not passing no bills," and I always end up posting on Facebook, "Yay, bills are not being passed." For us, we don't want new laws. We want in fact, the founding fathers even wanted that. Ideally, the government was designed by the founding fathers to be very slow moving. Okay, anytime I hear, "Oh, we reached across the aisle," I'm like, "Oh, great! What freedom's taken away?" In fact, that hair testing, that opioid bill, that's what exactly my representative said. "I reached across the aisle and we came up with this great deal," and I was like, "Great, you statists." But this is good news if we can't get libertarians in. This is good news because at least things are going to move slower now. In fact, it's going to be a bunch of terrible. In fact, the news is going to be filled with all kinds of junk, which I'm getting tired of. Because, they're going to be coming up with all these, we got to do this investigation. We got to do this investigation. We're going to hear all this stuff again, and I'm going to be, screaming at the radio all the time. But the good news is bills are going to be moving a lot slower because both sides are going to be fighting all the time. And I like that. I like the two statist religions to fight. It's like the Baptists and the Methodists, fighting against each other. Yeah. So that was my whole take on, in general with the elections, is, when I heard that, not one party is controlling it, I liked it.
Yeah, you see, that's one of the things our Pentecostal pastor was always telling us. He goes, he said one time, he goes, why we stay until 1 o'clock during service?
Why is that?
And you're like, so the Baptists will be gone from Wyatt's cafeteria by the time y'all get out.
Oh man. Yeah, that's good.
But we've got a lot of stuff as far as the elections going and stuff like that. But hey, on a good note, I do have a good note about the elections. You want to know? You want to hear it?
All right.
Trump endorsed Nancy Pelosi as Speaker.
All right. Great news.
Yeah, he said. Yeah, great news. He said he even said that he could probably muster up enough Republican votes to make sure she got it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So they are reaching across the aisle already.
Yeah. And you know what else, though? You know what else? I got some more good news.
All right.
Nancy Pelosi said she's not going to seek impeachment.
Oh, well, yeah, I don't. I see them going for the impeachment thing. I do see them doing that.
I don't. I think this just goes back to what me and you have been saying from the very beginning. I think it was all a show from the very beginning. That Trump has always been a Democrat. And now,
which that's true. But I think they're going to. They're
about to come out.
Yeah, but I think still just for show. I think they're going to go with the Democrats will go with their base. I think they're going to get hollered at enough that they will go through the impeachment. But get this, the impeachment is just a show, people. It is, and because what name a god, a statist god, that has actually gone to jail or they've gone through their trial and stuff. Let's take a look at Clinton. He got his hand slapped. Oh, big deal. Okay. Look at Hillary. I mean, the impeachment is just a show. No one's going to get removed from office. In fact, the impeachment of Clinton, if Republicans remember, it actually did bring down the Republican Party a little bit. It made them look bad, and Clinton got away with a lot of stuff during that time. He took us to so much war, the cluster bombs that he was just bombarding on people against the UN. And Democrats love the UN, but he went against the UN, and he landed cluster bombs on countries. I was in 3 wars while he was in office. Can anyone name one war other than Travis, because Travis and I talked about it, but can anyone name one war that Clinton took us through during that impeachment time? A lot of people don't know it. A lot of people don't know he took us into Iraq. Why? Because, he was able to get away with so much because eyes were diverted off him and onto Monica Lewinsky. So, I don't
know why. I don't know why anybody was diverted on Monica Lewinsky. Come on, really?
Because she was a soap opera star. So was Clinton.
There goes our timer. Tick, 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 tick,
tick.
The Liberty National Network. Where do you want to go to lunch? I'm having a stroke. Did you hear what I said? I'm having a stroke. Why aren't you answering me? I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F. Face drooping. A. Arm weakness. S. Speech difficulty. T. Time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The oldest existing human that we know of is the 5,300-year-old body of a man, frozen in ice, that was uncovered by climbers in the Italian Alps in 1991. His name is Ötzi, the Iceman, and aside from being extremely well preserved, he was remarkable for another reason. the 61 tattoos that adorned his body. For as long as we've been on the planet, humankind has marked their bodies to commemorate important events, imply meaning, or signify value. Everything from a sailor's inscription of a lost lover's name to the tribal markings of indigenous peoples denoting a ceremony or achievement reminds us that using permanent markings can be one of the clearest ways to show what's meaningful to us. As it turns out, we aren't the only ones who do this. God does too. Listen to this powerful verse in Isaiah. See, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. That verse is part of a passage where God reminds his people that he has not forgotten them, even during an extended period of captivity. And while the most important part may seem to be the fact that God has engraved or tattooed the name of his people on his body, it's worth considering where that engraving occurs. His hands. A lot has changed in the lives of human beings over the years, but we still use our hands for nearly every daily task imaginable. We look at them hundreds, maybe even thousands of times each day. The implication here is powerful, that our names are never out of God's sight. I want us to think about that. If your own life's commitments were to be written on your hands, what would they be? Work, school, your career? Or would they be the names of people in your life, family members, friends, and those inside or outside of your church community? It's often easy to lose sight of what matters amidst the hustle and bustle of our lives, but I think this verse and the principle it embodies ought to be a powerful reminder to all of us of two things: to put first things first in our lives and remind us of our Heavenly Father's love for us. I want you to picture his hands right now, the same hands that knit the galaxies together, and then picture your own name, tattooed in his skin. Powerful, isn't it? Our God has marked us into his heart as permanently as ink sets into our skin. We are always in his mind, always in his eyes, and always in his heart. I'm Joseph Tkach, speaking of life.
Hi, I'm Joy, a student at Hillsdale College. Here is President of Hillsdale College, Dr. Larry Arnn, on why the Constitution limits government.
James Madison writes in Federalist 51 that men are not angels. Their passions and self-interest often get the better of their reason and sense of justice. So we need government in order to protect our rights against those who would take them away. But for the same reason, Madison writes, government must be limited, because people in government have passions and interests too. Many Americans today forget this, supposing that we can do away with constitutional limits on government, supposing that the unelected bureaucrats being put in charge of our health care, for example, will rule as if they are angels. If Madison was correct about human nature, this is foolish and dangerous.
This Constitution Minute was brought to you by Hillsdale College. To receive a free pocket Constitution and Declaration, go to constitutionminute.com.
The Oklahoma Tomcat thinks he is a big tough cat, but he is actually as harmless as a kitten. You are listening to Political TNT on the Liberty National Network. If you want to be part of the show, dial 914-338-1906 and then press 1.
Welcome back to Political TNT. And one of the things we said we were going to do is we were going to talk about the problem with the election and discuss possible solutions to this problem we have with elections, which Travis and I have talked about earlier today. Discussed a few of the things that we question why don't they do it and stuff like that. We were going to talk about all this, and of course we got diverted because, we found out we have a statist on the show. Sidetracked us.
It's good to be off track once in a while.
But one of the things that I kind of question is this early voting thing, which is pushed so much now. Why do we even have early voting in the first place? I think that's part of the problem we're having. Is we have such a wide window of people being able to come and vote. What is the purpose of early voting? No answers, huh?
No answers.
That's because we're all smart and we know that really, the problem. I think they, if I'm not mistaken, their reasoning for the early voting is to be able to give people more opportunity to come in and vote. But the voting booths are open all day, right?
Right.
I mean, how many hours are they open? I mean, does anyone work from sunrise to sunset other than a farmer? But a farmer can get off the farm anytime and vote. So, that there is a question. I heard one person say that they can see the early voting for military only. I replied back. I tweeted back saying, I was in the military. I never did early voting. The military has absentee voting, that ballots that they can do. That there. We wrote down what states where we vote in, and the ballots were sent to us to fill out, and then we sent them back. So I mean that there's solved. Same thing with truck drivers. I do the absentee ballot. So I don't see any reason. The early voting needs to be done away with. That's the number one thing. But then I've also heard the solution of why don't we do it all electronically now? As far as over the internet. That would get rid of the absentee ballot.
Yeah, I think, and then not only it would get rid of the absentee ballot and the early ballot. I mean, you log in, you punch in your information, and go with that.
Yeah, and with today's technology, I mean, we have. I mentioned it this morning when you and I were talking, but now I forget it. Cryptocurrency uses it and stuff like that. But I mean, you have that technology, to where it can be secure too.
And not only that, but I mean, it could be real easy too. Like, take for instance Facebook. When something goes down with Facebook and they want to confirm your identity, you have to take a selfie with you holding your ID to validate your identity. Okay. Why can't something simple like that be done with electronic voting? In order to access it, and you punch in your information. It verifies if you're eligible to vote, such as felon, or if you can vote or something like that. And you got to take a picture. You got to take a picture, selfie with you with holding your ID. I mean, there's just
that would be a pain too, but you don't even need to do that. I mean, you don't have to do that with when paying for things online using your credit card. You don't need to do that. I don't even need to do that. Hold on, New York. It is extremely hard for me to get my birth certificate from New York, have it mailed to me. Extremely hard. But even with, I mean, that technology.
Me and you've already discussed that, though.
but they do have a system in place, though, to make sure they're sending your birth certificate to you and not to someone else. So I mean, they have the technology out there. Cryptocurrency is very secure. Why can't we use that type of technology to, I know the government hates cryptocurrency, but I mean that's one of the most, from what I understand, that's one of the most secure systems they have out there.
Yeah, by the way, I need to check my cryptocurrency anyways.
Yeah. Especially since our stocks aren't doing so good. But that's the technology's out there. That would be so easy for those of us away from home too. I mean, truck drivers, military, people who travel. Because I mean, if you can log on and vote, that would be simple.
Yeah, that would be so simple because then I wouldn't have to worry about finding a notary public, finding me I can just log on and I vote for this libertarian, this libertarian, this libertarian, this libertarian, this libertarian, this libertarian,
yeah.
this libertarian.
And anyone who wants to see how much fun it is to look for a notary republic while you're traveling, I do have a video of my daughter and I walking through town over 10 miles to try to look for a notary republic.
Oh! By the way, since you rudely disappeared on us on the election show, I do want to congratulate. Oklahoma on one of the bills that they passed. I do want to congratulate Oklahoma.
Oh, which bill? Because they passed a bunch of them.
The one that's, and me and the producer talked about this, and then she finally, I thought she caved in and agreed with me, but now I'm not so sure with all of her status stuff going on today. Hey, congratulate Oklahoma for giving victims more rights. I mean, now the victim doesn't even have to show up to court to face the accused. The constitutional right. You know the constitutional right where we have the right to face our accuser.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to do that in Oklahoma no more.
Oh, I missed that bill. Which bill was that?
Yeah. It was the bill that gave victims more rights. It was, a matter of fact, it was the top bill that was being passed. It was a constitutional amendment for Oklahoma.
Yeah, I missed that. But there was a bunch of bills passed.
No, yeah, but this bill was being advertised. I mean, I can't remember what the name of the bill is. It first started
I'll look it up. Yeah.
It first started off in California back in the 80s, and I said Oklahoma. I tried to warn y'all because after doing research before y'all's election, Texas had passed the same one back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And Oklahoma is just now catching up. Now, what this bill does is allow, the victim does not have to show up to court when all they have to do is go. And I told our status producer that now all they have to do now is go before basically a grand jury, and they never have to see the accused anymore, and the accused never has to see the accuser anymore.
Man.
And she was like, "Well, that's pretty good, because what if they rape?" And I said, "Okay." So what if some So what if some dude comes up? So what if we can go back and play that show? And so I said, so what if some dude comes up and goes, Edie raped me?
Okay, wait a minute. All right. In my defense, I say this, okay? I mean, I was just making a point that, what if they were raped and they can't face the person? You know what I mean? Like, that could be bad or good either way. Just like everything else in life.
But you have to accept the bad with the good with liberty. Our constitutional right says we have the right to face our accuser.
Right. And that's my point. You have that right to either face them or not face them. If something went bad, where the person couldn't face their person that did them wrong, then why they got to face them, right?
You're looking at the wrong angle there, Miss Producer. You're looking at the wrong angle. Because you're looking at it as the person who's doing the accusing, and you're only looking at their side of not wanting to face the other person. And you're saying, but they have the right not to face them if they don't want to. But see, here's the problem is that the accused has the right to defend themselves and face the accuser. If you accuse someone of something, then the person you're accusing has the right to go before a judge and jury, if needed be, to hear what you're saying. That's the first thing, is to hear what you're saying and then defend themselves of what you're saying. If you don't want to face if you don't want to face the person you're accusing, you're right. You don't have to. Don't accuse them. I mean, that's just the sad truth. Is if you don't want to go to court, then don't press charges.
And the way this bill is making it now, is that anybody can accuse anybody of anything, and you don't have to face them to prove your point.
Right. Well, I was just making a point. I was looking on the person that was the victim.
You see, she's crawfishing now.
But see, the person's not a victim until. But see, the person's not is not legally a victim until they've gone to court and proved that the person did victimize them. Otherwise the person being accused is actually the victim. Because, if you falsely accuse someone of something, then that person ends up being that the accused is actually the victim.
She's looking at it. She's looking at it
to be justice. There is none. I mean, people were beat down by cops for apparently no reason, or taken to court or anything. So where was there any justice anywhere else? Right?
Well, if you were beaten by a cop, then you should.
It's basically be guilty until proven innocent, right?
Well, see, that's what that law actually does. It makes the person being accused guilty, and then they can't even defend themselves because the person accusing them of something is not there to accuse them.
Here's a good example of that law here in Oklahoma. Here's a good example. The Kavanaugh hearings. What did she say? She did not want to face Brett Kavanaugh, did she not? She did not want to be in the same room with him.
Right.
And he said, no, my right is to be able to face her.
Right.
They denied him his right. And her whole story turned out you could punch holes in it.
Yep.
So
how about that? So how about that, there, Miss Producer? It turned out he was the victim, right?
Right. I was just saying because I had thought that, I was looking out for, like, say, victim. You don't know. You don't know until you,
Yeah.
find out. like all the way around.
Right,
Yeah,
but the only
and
way
that's
you
what
can get
I'm
all the
saying.
way around is to have both sides, to have both people there, present, face to face. That's the only way you can really find out who what the whole story is. If one person's missing, you don't have it.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's
Right.
and that's what I was telling Edie. I said, Edith, what if some guy come up and said that you raped him, but he doesn't have to face you in court now. He can just say it, and then he can go to the grand jury and say whatever he wants to say, and you can't counter those arguments. You can't ask counter arguments to him.
Yeah, see, that's where the big problem is. That was another thing with Kavanaugh thing is that they wanted him to testify first. How do you defend yourself if you don't hear what the accusations are? That's why it's always the accuser is always the first one to testify, and then the other person counteracts that. Because you got to hear what you're being accused of. I mean, if you don't know what you're being accused of, how do you say I'm innocent? You can't because you don't know what the accusations are.
Yeah, but congratulations, Oklahoma.
Yeah, I definitely have to look that up and get on Facebook and Twitter on that one.
Yeah, just look up the Oklahoma victim rights law.
Yeah, well, I'll be able to get on their website and be able to find the bill number. Actually, it won't be a bill because that was actually that was voted on, wasn't it? So yeah, constitutional amendments. Oh, that would be easy to find then.
Yeah. And see the thing is what brought me up to it is I was sitting at the pilot there here in Oklahoma City, and I seen them talking about it and vote on amendment such and such, and I started listening to it, and I said I want to know more about this, so I started looking it up because they said a certain amount of states have already added this to their constitution, and so I said,
yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about too.
I said, well, let me see what this is, and looked it up, and I said, ooh, I don't like this because it talks about the accused the victim no longer has to face the accused, and that's your constitutional right. So I said, what other states did it? Did Texas do it? And I punched in Texas version, and I was like, holy crap, Texas did this back in the 80s when the laws first come out. And I was like, and then I looked it up and I was like, oh, this originated out of California by the lawyer of this alleged victim. I was like, oh, wow. And now Oklahoma. And then I actually came on the air one time and I warned Oklahoma. I even posted it on Facebook. I even posted it in Oklahoma Libertarian group. I said, y'all do not want this law. And and I was booted out shortly afterwards. And I was like, holy crap. And then y'all, instead of listening, so y'all stuck with it now. It's in y'all's constitution, your constitutional.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know, Edie. I don't know why you laughing. New York has the same law.
I'm just laughing because it's. I'm just laughing.
Miss Giggles.
She's laughing because Oklahoma did it. Yeah, I think I know which one you're which one you're talking about, and I did vote against it. Of course, anytime anything says victims in it, I always question it because that's always a key word to somebody's rights is going to be taken away. because he knows they always do that.
Yeah, and what it does is when you say victims, you're pulling at the heart. You're not pulling at
exactly.
you're not pulling at logic, your emotions. So and they didn't fully explain that bill and what it does. When I read it, I was like, "Oh my God, your constitutional right there is being taken away from you."
Because let me tell everybody something. Under the law, without all these special victims' rights thing and all that, victims already have rights. Under the Constitution, under the state constitution, victims already have rights. You have the right to take anyone to court and face your accuser. I mean, face the person you're accusing. You already have that right. What more rights do you really need? If somebody wrongs you, you have the right to sue them if it's not a criminal thing, or press charges if it is. I mean, it's like these a whole thing with the battered women's rights and stuff like that. I'm like, you already have the right to put the person in jail that harms you.
You know what this law has created, right? That most states have this. Most states now have this law in effect, this constitutional amendment in effect. You know what this has created, right?
What?
This has created you're guilty before innocent. It's no longer innocent before guilty.
Yeah. Which is what they've been working on for a long time, is to try to make it to where you are, it's one of them things where you get, it's the whole thing with give up your rights for security. That's what it is. In order to do that, they have to make everyone guilty until they can prove themselves innocent. And you can't prove your innocence. That's why communist countries do that. All these dictators and stuff. You're guilty until proven innocent. Because you can't prove your innocence. Government can accuse you of anything. You can't prove that you didn't do it. You can't. Kavanaugh was unable to prove. They say that Trump even came out and said this here proved Kavanaugh innocent all the time. No, it didn't. We still don't know if he did it or not. And if you want to find out anything else about our show, go to ptat.show. That's Papa Tango Alpha Tango.show. There you'll find out all about us except for our producer and Travis, who keep themselves top secret. But you can find out anything about us. Also, our list of podcasts. One more podcast will be added to our website, and that is iHeartRadio. You can now listen to us on iHeartRadio. So now you can pretty much hear us on everything. I think we're still not on iTunes yet. I've checked that out.
And we're no longer on air.
No, we are. We got 23 seconds.
All right, but go there and check us out, and also look at all of our podcasts. Find the one that you like, the website you like to listen to the most, or the app you like to listen to the most, and you can find us. Click on any of those that I have listed on there, and it'll take you right to our show. And we will be back on the air Friday.